You gonna learn today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But see, that goes to what I'm talking about. When people talk about slavery in this country, they usually only talk about people who came off of boats. But that's not 100% accurate. Because the natives who were here were affected by slavery.
I didn't say
that. Wait. I know. So when you ask me who was this country built on, when you say slaves, that includes natives.
Okay, hold up, Paul. All right. Before slavery,
okay,
was this country a superpower? No, right? Because after slavery, that's when we got our independence, right? Couple of 100 years after slavery.
No.
So, hold on, wait. When did the first slave hit? 1619. When did we get our independence?
You're talking about the
in America.
No, let's give the people context. Chill.
Okay, all right.
You're talking about the what's it called? Transatlantic slave trade.
1619.
Okay, so you're talking about the first boat that came here with people from Africa, which was only 20 Africans that came on this shore. Go ahead.
You think, and you think, oh, that was just the first one you talking
about, The first boat.
Okay. I thought you were saying that was it.
No, okay. I never said that. No.
Okay, so before they had their independence.
Who?
America. Before America
was already independent.
No,
yes,
we was not. So why did we have the war? Why did we fight?
You're talking about, you said after slavery, right? So you're talking about after, you're talking about
1619,
you're talking about
independent.
You're talking about the previous America that had a slave trade before that, where they took natives from this country into Europe, and they were doing a slave trade through there. I hear you, but let's
we're going to talk about ADOS.
Okay, wait. You're talking about Europeans taking over this country and independence from their side. That's what you're talking about.
They couldn't do it without the slave trade, without cotton, right? Without that money from cotton. Could they have actually thought about going into war with the North if they ain't had the money with the cotton?
Now we're arguing two different things.
But we're talking about their power. Where did America get its power? Cotton was king, right?
You're talking two different things now.
But we're talking about power.
You said independent.
Where do you get power? Where do you get your independence from? Power.
Okay.
Money.
Okay.
Without money, you can't get your independence.
So you know that the Revolutionary War against Britain was not fueled through cotton. You know that though, right?
What, you talking about the train tracks, the railroad, the industrial industry? That it was multiple. We can't just say it wasn't.
Right. It wasn't just one thing.
Yeah, but when you say it wasn't fueled by cotton,
just cotton,
I ain't never say it was
against
just
Britain.
Cotton.
We're talking about.
I'm not just saying it was just cotton, but what gave them that push? The cotton money. Because without it, they wouldn't have had their freedom. They wouldn't have had enough money to sustain a war.
They didn't have
So cotton in the South made the Boston Tea Party happen. That's what you're telling me?
No, that ain't what I said,
But I'm saying, but you talk about independence. Now, we're not talking about the Civil War. You're talking about the Revolutionary War, which are two different things.
So
we're putting them together, and we can't.
Right?
Go ahead,
1776 is when America got their independence.
Okay.
1619 is when America got their first set of slaves.
Okay.
And it took them some time to build it up.
Does it go together? Of course it does.
That's all I'm saying.
Of course it does.
So when I say America was built on the backs of slaves, when people deny that, I just see uneducation on the subject.
Okay. So the purpose of this interview seems to be about American descendants of slavery.
No, it's not.
Wait. Oh. and how we're going to connect that to today's issues within our community, whether it be social, economic, religious, etc. Because in all honesty, ADOS is the reason for economic growth and economic disenchantment from the people. It also is a major contributor in mental health and economic systematic failure. So we're going back to who built the country, and at the end of the day, because I can't disagree or agree with you, because I think we're both arguing the same point on two different sides. the people who really built this country and deserve the most are not getting it. Correct?
Correct.
So in understanding that, the people today are systematically being taken out because of their knowledge. Martin Luther King Jr. said in a famous speech that got him killed, actually, the one that really started getting him in trouble, was when he talked about the land ownership and how when Europeans came to this country, banks were giving them land at the cheapest price and people of color could not get it. So one part of the I Have a Dream speech is when he says, we're going to go to the government and we're going to go cash in that check.
Collect that check.
Because we supposed to get that. And he got killed for that. Malcolm X said, you're not a Negro, you're an Aborigine. You were here first. He was talking about the same thing. And of course, you know, through powers that be, whether it be the government, the Nation of Islam, or whoever you put behind it, FBI, Malcolm X was killed. Just the same way today, and I'm going to put it together, I'm not saying that Nipsey Hussle was killed by the government, but it was very interesting that a congresswoman says that I would not be surprised if the government was behind it, and Eric Holder said somebody from the government or LAPD offered him $75,000 to kill Nipsey Hussle, which is very interesting. And we have people who are teaching about nitrogenic medicine and going against vaccines getting killed. And they're standing up for the people who are ADOS more than anything else. With that type of knowledge out there, why is it such a mistake for people to sleep on this information that's out and not to protect not only their own, but the community at large?
Wait, you just asked, why is it so easy?
Why is it so important?
Oh, why is it so important?
It's easy for them to act like it doesn't exist, but why is it so important? Give them your breakdown. Because we always say, what's important? Because it's your life. But I don't think people really value life the way it was intended to be lived. What do you think?
I believe it's important because not just we behind enemy lines. It's important because we are a group that multiplies.
Mm-hmm.
We are a group that spreads throughout this globe. Mm-hmm. Not just our body, our physical, but our word patterns. Look at your brand, Heritage Hip Hop. Hip hop is spreaded all over the globe. Mm-hmm. Anything we put our hands on, everybody want it. Mm-hmm. They even want us, but they act like they don't. Mm-hmm. Just like when we supposedly got freed and we wanted to go back to Africa, our government stopped that. Oh no.
The Marcus Garvey movement
Yeah,
you're talking about.
No,
okay.
You can't do that. You trying to leave here? Nah, we need that black gold. We need that. So
it's funny that you say that because that's my major beef with a lot of religious institutions. People of color in this country are called black oil or black gold because we spend our money on some of the worst things possible, and things that depreciate and not on things that appreciate and gain interest, gain equity, so we can build trust.
you know why?
Tell me about it.
I believe we do that because we don't understand social stratification.
Define social stratification for the people that's watching.
Okay, it's just the classification of wealth, basically. Classification of wealth. You have upper class, middle class, and lower class. Mm-hmm. People we know don't understand what class they're in, so they spend above their means, and it keeps them in a class that the upper class want them to stay in.
I'm gonna add to that. That's a mental disorder to me.
Well, you can call it a mental disorder.
I mean, that's my opinion.
To me, it's not a mental disorder. It's a mental issue, but not a mental disorder. Because it can be rectified.
So can disorders. All you gotta do is to fix the disorders and put it in order. That's structure.
A mental disorder, the way you saying it sound like a mental illness.
No, I didn't say illness. That's
True.
Two different things.
True.
A disorder is not a pattern of order. So if you go in your house and you got drawers on the floor and the kids is writing on the walls, that's disorder. The highest level of disorder is called chaos. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. It means that your thinking's not ordered. Now, mental illness is not, no, like that's like saying somebody is like bipolar. It can cause mental stress, but it would not cause bipolar shit being broke. There's not people who don't have $1 in their pocket and they're falling on the ground acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because you can always fix yourself by going to get that dollar. Legally or illegally, people find it means to that. You know what I'm saying? Illness is not something that you could just do one thing and fix. It's a structure. Once again, you have to have an order to how to reverse certain things that happen to you internally or externally. You agree? All right, so back to the economics. I say it's a disorder because if we're not thinking properly, we're not acting orderly. It's a book out that says cent smart and dollar dumb. That people would buy something for 99 cents to save that penny, but they'll buy $200 sneakers that depreciate, and next year another pair of sneakers come out, and that's disordered thinking. Part of the disorder I see, and I want your opinion on this, is that people are not educated on economics and finances.
Well, school hasn't taught us that in years, really. They even stopped teaching us civics classes in school. Our parents probably B era probably was getting taught civics, but our era and the era after us, they don't want us to learn politics.
Okay, so let's take it to education. What are the five? Let's do top five. Because then Jada can say top five, right? So you're gonna do top five. What are the 5 classes you think they should put back in school or introduce into school to make school better for the outcome of life in our country?
Well,
not only our country, our people as well.
Well, I'm trying to open up a school myself, and the 5 things that I think we need in that school is social engineering. People don't know how to communicate socially. We don't. We all think we better or we think we're lesser.
Okay.
So that, I believe, is number 1. Number 2 would be civics. I think civics class should be definite, because if we don't know our politics, then we don't know how to govern ourselves.
Okay.
We don't know who govern us and how. If we don't know the particulars of it, we can never run for office. We can never make change in office. We'll just be the ones not even calling office, because we're not into politics. We don't know nothing about it. Okay. So civics class should be in there.
Okay. What else?
Of course we need math.
That's the language, of course.
Yeah, of course. But
they never took that out of school. I said things that they took out of school that you think we should use.
Oh, okay.
So you got 2. Give me 3 more.
What they took out. I don't know everything they took out.
Okay, so I'll come back with you on that.
Okay.
What about home economics?
Well, I took home ec.
They don't teach you no more.
You don't take home ec no more?
I didn't take home ec in school.
Wow. I had home ec. Yeah, I had home ec.
Yeah, they took it out.
But it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough. We needed to learn how to manage our money.
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, that's
the next thing. But home economics.
They take out all in high school.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have a car repair class.
Yeah. Auto shop.
Yeah. Get machine. They took all that.
Work. Only tech schools do that now.
And I think public schools should have that.
Me too.
Like with my mechanic shop, I'm giving free teenagers classes on how to remove
free
an
classes
engine.
for teenagers.
Yeah. Free teenagers.
You said free teenagers.
Free classes. Yeah. Free classes for teenagers. We're giving them classes on how to take out engine, change oil, brakes, rotors.
Which is very important.
Yeah, because if they don't turn it into a job, they can just use it for personal use.
Exactly. Like, I think we get robbed all the way around, and that goes into what B said about economics class. A lot of us, when we go to take economics class, we learn micro and macroeconomics. We don't learn community economics. And that's something that was taken out of class as well. They also took out accounting, so you don't know how to balance a checkbook because nobody balance checks anymore. They also took out ledgers, where you would learn how to balance a ledger to know how much money you spend and make within the month. They took those classes out. No. They took out music, so you don't know how to play instruments. That's been out since the 80s, bro.
Nah, I took music.
Lucky you. How about that?
I had music course. We was in chorus, man.
Listen, lucky you. How about that?
Our children do not.
You learned how to play instrument in school?
Yeah, man.
Check this out. Lucky you. How about that? Because I never did.
Wow, I learned how to play the drums.
I never did.
I learned how to play the flute.
See, but look, and that goes to the point of why we saying education. Because we just gave them 5 classes. We don't own the education system in this country. For instance, we live in New Jersey. Shout out to the Garden State. New Jersey has how many counties? You don't know?
No.
Let's just say it's more than 5. Mm-hmm. And within those 5 counties, how many boards of educations are in those counties? Then you have a county board, you have a state board, and then everybody thinks it stops there, but you have a federal board. So we don't truly have a unified education system throughout our country, let alone our state. And understanding that A in Newark is a D in Lodi or something. A in Orange is a C in Catholic school in downtown Newark, though, in North Newark. So if our children aren't given an equal playing ground on the learning aspect of education, are we truly being educated or being indoctrinated? What do you think?
I don't believe we're being educated at all.
Talk about it.
I believe we are putting our children in a position to take orders, follow orders, and never be leaders. You know why
I agree with you? Because I was taught in school some of the most ass backwards things that ever was taught to a child, and I deal with a mental issue at times. I'm not gonna lie.
We all do.
So then I'm one of the norm. Thank you. And a lot of it is because of things I went through as a child. That when I go back to it, the frustration and the things I had to go through for not trying to be like everybody else, it fucked me up some little bit. You know what I'm saying? And one of the lessons that I learned in school, which I think is hypocritical and satanic, not borderline satanic is this. I was taught in school, you don't eat food from outside. You have to get food from the supermarket because anything on a tree is poisonous. Anything that comes from the ground is poisonous. It has to go to the supermarket first to be clean, so it's good for you to eat.
Wow.
I learned that in 2nd grade. That was taught to us. I had a test on that. Now, back to the Bible. God said He gave you everything that's good and meat from the ground to eat. And the meat wasn't the sausage and stuff like that. It was fruits and vegetables. So if you knew about seeding and planting, you can sustain your life. Another lesson that people teach in parables is if you fish for somebody, they'll eat for the day. But if you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life. They were teaching us how not to fish. Agriculture is the class that they took out of school that kids need to learn. Because if you don't know how to grow your own food, and we deal with what I call satanic, clone food, not only do you mess with your mental makeup, your physical makeup, your spiritual makeup, you mess with the capacity that you have to grow, which stunts your education and your physical development.
Well, some of the schools, like I have one of the schools that I deal with in Newark, JFK.
Shout out to JFK.
Shout out to JFK. They teaching that in school. I've seen them go to the garden and plant their stuff. So it's school, and shout out to JFK. They need y'all help. Their water bad. Like I've donated some water to them. So all of the Newark schools need our help. Basically, all of them need our help, and we need all of y'all to support these schools because these schools are what's educating y'all children, and they're giving them poor education. So we need to be in there. We need to be in there, making sure the teachers are comfortable, making sure that they have everything they need. Look, parents, some of y'all, go to the school, take the teacher some paper, some pens, something, anything, because you know what? These teachers are out there paying for it out of their pocket. These teachers are doing this out of their own pocket for y'all children. And they don't even get a thank you. They don't get a birthday card, Christmas card, none of that. So I need these parents from New Jersey and everywhere to start appreciating these teachers, because they are holding your children. They are educating your children. And if you don't show the love and support for them, they can give your children whatever they want. If they having a bad day at home, they can give it to your child. But if you are in there, they know, all right, well, I got this parent that's always on me, so I can't bring my home life to school. So we need y'all to be in there on these teachers, y'all. Come on, because our children are not just taking vaccines early, they are going into the school system too early. And we are not raising our children. We can't send our children into school at 2 years old. They need to be home with the parents. We can't vaccinate our children at 2 years old, because you pushing all that chemicals in their body, they can mess around and have seizures. They can mess around and it can mess up their body. So please, 2 years old is not time to push your children off.